Welcome to Monmouth in Focus. I'm Commissioner Director Tom Arnone, and we're here today, and it's my honor to have Sheriff Sean Golden here to talk a little bit about our veteran service programs that we have here in Monmouth County. Obviously, when we see the sheriff, how are you today?
Commissioner, great to be with you today.
We only look at law enforcement, but there's so many other components, and especially your sheriff's office, probably state of the art in the state of New Jersey. You offer so many other services, and one that's very special to my heart, but more importantly, I know it's very special to your heart, is your veteran service program that you created in 2016, I think it was.
We did. In 2016, we at the Sheriff's Office created the Veteran Service Council. You know, we have so many veterans that serve in law enforcement, and we wanted to be able to connect that with our community. And so we established a Veteran Service Council, which is made up of a lot of our veterans nonprofits throughout Monmouth County. They come in, meet quarterly, give us advice, some great advice on what we can do to better serve our veterans and how we can honor them and interact with them, and more importantly, engage them in times of emergencies.
So you put up a few special programs that you came up with that are kind of really unique, and I think we're the only ones in the state of New Jersey that offer it.
Well, we're very fortunate. We have in that Veteran Service Council, we have Mike Ferrara, who's a 32-year veteran himself, 32 years of service, and so he's our liaison in the Sheriff's Office part-time. I think we're the only law enforcement agency in the state of New Jersey that actually has a designated liaison for veterans, and that's how important it is for us, not just for the men and women that serve currently, that work at the Sheriff's Office and serve in the Air National Guard in our military and can be deployed at any time, but Mike seeks out those members of the Veteran Service Council to come together and look at programs that we can offer our veterans. And wow, has he come up with some great ones for us.
Yeah, I know one in particular I wanted to touch base with you on. That was Starlight for Veterans.
The Starlight for Veterans program is a program that they recognized as a void, really, one of those gaps in service for the veterans. And so what a way to bring together all of the agencies that have to offer services for veterans. We bring them all under one roof. So anywhere from insurance companies to nonprofits to our county Veterans Affairs Office to our federal opportunities. So all the county, the state, and the federal offers in those organizations come under one roof. And we've had it here at Brookdale Community College, and we've had it at the malls where we have at the Factory Outlet Mall and the Freehold Raceway Mall. And there's wide open tables of organizations willing and able to provide services for vets, and it's been fantastic and well received, and we look forward to getting back to it.
So it's funny, and just talking about getting back to this is our first live show, so it's an honor to be able to speak with the sheriff himself, but more importantly also to be speaking about our veterans, because the backbone of our community. You know, what we kind of forget, and sometimes a lot of agencies will forget when they're looking for these initiatives, is their own people. And you don't.
No, yeah. So we have an honors. So we started an honors program, not just internally, and I'll talk about that in a second. But we started an external honors program, and it's honoring our vets in the Sheriff's Office. And so every month we will honor a vet in Monmouth County that has fought so hard for our freedom and dedicated his or her life to the military service and to the service of others. And so we have forms that you can nominate, and every month we'll recognize one of our vets, our valued vets here in Monmouth County. You can go to MCSONJ/veteran forms, fill it right out. If you just go to our website, there's a separate veterans tab that you can click on. You'll see all the information. And that goes a long way in recognizing the men and women who are so dedicated. And then internally, as you know, when you've seen it walking into our sheriff's headquarters on Kozlowski Road, we have it at our correctional facility and our headquarters. And that is our wall of honor for our current employees, 104 of them, Commissioner, that serve either in the National Guard or can be called up in the military, and they have. And so we've been recognized by the ESGR, the Employee Service for the Guard and Reserve, and they have recognized us as one of those agencies that support those guards, men and women, that get deployed, you know, whether it's down in Washington, D.C. or whether it's overseas in one of the theaters of operation. We recognize them, and more importantly, we reach out to their families, so when they are away, we're in touch with their families through Mike Ferrara to be sure that if they need any help from the Sheriff's Office, we're there for them.
So, you know, what's so important here is because I'm so proud of my freeholder board and the county in general, because we're so pro law enforcement and obviously our military, because we know, truthfully, that's why we are here today with all the things that we're offered here. It's because of what people have done for in the past. But I know that a lot of people didn't exactly the portal component side. Do you get that out there to people?
We do, and that's why we wanted the honors program, so that we would get more attention drawn to the Sheriff's Office porthole. So those vets and that Veteran Service Council, we've opened up a website porthole so that they can all participate. A lot of those Veteran Service Council members and their organization have private logins, so they can go get the information. And the information is anything from the honors program to the Starlight program to the cremains. That is a program that was brought to our attention, and I didn't know until we met with all the funeral home directors in the county and the state of New Jersey, and we hosted it at our sheriff's headquarters. And that's the cremains program. Over 25,000 men and women, servicemen and women, lost their lives, and over 5,000 of them were cremated and didn't have claim, family members didn't have any claim to their remains. And so they're cremated. They end up staying at the funeral home until we can have a proper burial or make some type of arrangements, and we have. You know, the Vietnam Vets, Chapter 12, right here in Monmouth County, has been instrumental in effort in the cremains program. And my commitment as sheriff to them and in law enforcement, because there is so much crossover between our public safety and our veterans, was we will not have them interned from the funeral home to the cemetery without a proper honor guard or a proper burial with uniforms present. And so that cremains program has been tremendous. Hundreds have been interned under the program with our oversight and direction, and more importantly, participation of uniformed personnel to make sure they have a proper burial.
So these are great programs, and you know, and it's a credit to you and your staff, because it's very creative thinking on your part to look at the people that are very important to us here in the backbone of our county. You know, this past year, COVID, we lost a lot of people here in COVID this past year here, and during the period of time, people that are very close to us, and we're talking about veterans, and there's an individual from Monmouth County and Eatontown in particular, Colonel Sam. We lost him this year.
Well,
he
was
a very close friend to you and myself here.
We were very, obviously, COVID's been tragic for many families throughout the county and throughout our state and the country. And Sam is one of those fallen to COVID early on. It was about a year ago in April when the COVID pandemic first started. And we were all taken back by it. I mean, it was sad. I always think about the Foucault family. To St. John Vianney alum, we used to joke about the Lancers, and he's a tremendous supporter. He was instrumental in starting that Veteran Service Council for us.
Yes, he was.
And you know, he has been all the way, not just decorated veteran, but a veteran that supports other veterans and those organizations that do as well.
So the one special moment that I can remember is right before COVID came, our clerk, Christine Hanlon, and myself were able to present him over at Fort Monmouth a plaque, because he was recognized there, and that was such an honor, and it was something I'll always remember. And I know that you have had him, you know, personally in a lot of your initiatives here. But you know, in closing, I just want to thank you for everything you do and your staff. To please pass on to them.
I want to thank all the veterans that served our country and allow us to sit here in freedom and do what we do, and all those others that participate in law enforcement. It's very much crossover, and we so much appreciate our veterans.
Monmouth County's law enforcement agencies have changed so much. Obviously, first and foremost is the safety of our county, but more importantly, special programs like this, the other special programs, and we're in autism awareness era in the month here. It is very important, and you do a great job. I want to thank you for everything you do, and keep up the great work. You guys make us look good. So
Commissioner, thank you and the entire Board of Commissioners for their support of law enforcement and our veterans.
Thank you, and I want to thank everybody for joining in our Monmouth in Focus show to talk about the functions of Monmouth County. Thank you, and have a great day.